we're going to be doing is problem number 5. We're going to be working on building an ellipse based from this given information. So right now, it says our center is at 1, 3. What does that tell us about the ellipse? What two values do we now have that we didn't have before? The h and the k. Good. So label h, k. All right. Now we know our h value, which is 1, and our k value, which is 3. Now we need to build a little graph here. So what I'd like you to do is I want you guys to make an x-axis and a y-axis right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plot our center to start out with. Our center is at over 1 and up 3. I'm going to put a point. And I would like you, on your paper, on your graph paper, label that the center, 1, 3. You also want to put HK underneath it. You can. So there's your center, right there, 1, 3. It also says there we have a vertex at 1, 8. So I'm going to go over 1 and up 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right here. So right there we have a vertex, and our vertex is at 1, 8. A clue that's been given to us is it says the major axis is parallel to the y-axis, which means our major axis is going to be going up and down, which means we now have the formula that we're going to be working with. We're going to be working with this formula, y minus k squared over a squared plus x minus h squared over b squared equals 1. Understand, 2 times a will equal our major axis, and 2 times b will equal our minor axis. Now, why do I know we're using this formula? Because if it says the major axis is parallel to the y-axis, we're going to be going more up and down than we are going to be going side to side. Okay? So right now, what I want you to do is connect. Make a connection from the center to your vertex right there. From the center to the vertex. We're going to count how many units that is. Looks like it goes up how many units? 5 units. I want you to understand that 5 is equal to your A. 5 is equal to A, which means I would have to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there. This is our other vertex at 1, negative 2. 1, negative 2. That's another vertex. Just remember what I just said. I said our major axis is equal to 2 times A, which happens to be 10 units long. So our major axis is 10 units long. 5 equals A. This distance right here is also A, which is equal to a 5. So these right here are your A values. Our B value, it says, is equal to a 3. So from the center, if I said I wanted you to draw the ellipse, I know wasn't the question, but if you wanted to draw the ellipse, we'd have to go over how many? 1, 2, 3. You put a point right here. You go over 1, 2, 3. You put a point right there. Now what I'd like you to do is carefully draw in your minor axis. So your B value is equal to 3 units long. So your minor axis is equal to 2 times B, which in this particular case is 6 units long. So if I told you, by the way, if I just gave you the length of the major axis and the length of the minor axis, you could work your way to A and B as well. Okay? By dividing everything by 2. All right, so now let's go ahead and draw in our ellipse. All right, so listen, now that I've drawn in the ellipse, hopefully you guys can see why we have the equation that we do. There we go. 1 second. All right, now that you've drawn the ellipse, I want you guys to look at this formula. Right here, we have all the pieces of the formula to build it. Okay? So right now, remember our HK is at 1 and a 3. So let's go ahead and build our formula. Y minus our K value. What's our K value? 3. Over. Now, it's A squared. What was our A value equal to in this one? 5. So 5 squared is 25. What was our H value? 1. And what did they give us? They gave us our B value. They said B was equal to a 3, so B squared is 9. And that equals 1. Now, the last thing I want us to do in this problem, even though we didn't have to do it, the last thing I want us to do is what if they asked us for the foci? Or if they gave us the foci, how could we work our way back and find the A or the B? So what formula is going to be very, very, very important for foci?
The A squared.
C squared.
Equals
A squared. Minus B squared. So this right here, to help you find the foci, by the way, the foci in this problem are located in H, comma, K, plus or minus C. That's going to be how you're going to plot it. Okay? To find C, you're going to take your A squared, which is 25, minus your B squared, which is 9. So right now, our C value is equal to 4. Okay? Our C value is equal to 4. Now, if our C value is equal to 4, and our foci are H, comma, K, plus or minus C, what was our H value? Our H value was at a 1. Our K value was at a 3. So what are we going to do? We're going to do plus or minus the 4 that we just found.
That would be 1, 3.
1, comma, what's 3 plus 4? 7. And then 1, comma, what's 3 minus 4? Negative 1. So I'm going to highlight this in green, and I'm going to plot 2 points on our graph that represent the foci. Then I'll scroll up a little bit, right? Here we go. Scrolling up. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to go over here. We're going to plot both of those. We're going to go over 1 and up 7. You're going to put a point right here, and I want you to label this as F1. That is F1. Then you're going to go over 1 and down negative 1, and I want you to label this F2. So this is F1, and this is F2, which means focus 1 and focus 2 together. They are the foci.
Are they always going to be like 1 away from?
Not always, no. They're not always going to be 1 away from your major axis. Now, this one is working out nice and neat because they're nice and neat, perfect squares, all right? Like they're Pythagorean triples, so that makes it a little bit easier. But they're not always going to be 1 away, okay? However, I want you guys on your paper right now, we're going to draw an ellipse real quick, just a random ellipse, all right? So we're going to draw a nice random ellipse. One thing I want you guys to do real quick is this will help you with your other problems as you're building them. I want you to make a major axis, and I want you to make a minor axis as best as you can, going through the center. All right? That's fine. Now, listen. I want you guys to just put a focus right here. Call that F1 and put another focus right here, call that F2. I want you guys to understand the distance between the center and your focus is always going to be your C value. All right? So this distance between the exact center, so right here, this center right here, that refers to our what? That's our H, comma, K. So the distance between the center and one of the foci is C. So either way, you can find your C value. All right?
Or the foci will make it a circle.
The foci is what makes it the ellipse. All right, that's what basically, that's what controls. I'm just going to do two random distances to a point. So I can say go from that point to that point. The sum of these two distances, whatever they are, will be the exact same as if I went from this focus to just some random point and then connected it over there. So the sum of these will equal the sum of so the sum of the purple equal the sum of the orange if you add them together. That's the definition of a focus. Now, I want you to also understand, real quick, we're almost done with the video here, so hold on one second. The distance from the center to one of the points along the minor axis, that's going to be the B value. Okay? So from here to right there, that's the distance of B. This vertex right here and this vertex right here, this is along the what? That's along the major axis. Yeah, so if I go, what's the distance from this point all the way to that point, that's going to be your A value. Okay? And I can go either side, right? Either side, that's going to be A. Just like for the B, I'll do the one last one right here. The distance from here to right there, that's B. That's something you need to understand when you guys are given information. They've given you either the B, they've given you the A, or they've given you the foci, and you can find A, B, and C, and they've given you what? Two out of the three. That's what you're going to be doing on the rest of the paper. They've given you clues. You have to figure the rest of the information out.